Wounded healers aren't born or made. They create themselves by transforming their pain into power and adversity into strength. They are spiritual alchemists who understand the value of facing the shadows and transmuting them into light. They are the illuminators of the unseen realms and help lost souls find help, home, and healing.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Andromeda 7 Celestial Gateway. I'm Pretzel, and it's good to see you guys. Welcome David Knoll with us, also known as Hawkeye.
Oh, there's Gary. Hi, Gary.
Hi. Hey, Gary. So good to see you. We have Gary, and then we have Brenda's with us tonight, Milky's mom. Hi, I want to see you. Make sure you're doing good. So good to see you. We have Julie Ann Payne, and we have Trina Phoenix. Woo! And Teresa, and of course, tonight. Lori. Oh, yeah, we've got a full cast tonight for you guys. So let's see who's all in the chat tonight.
Well, let's see if Gary has some headset. You have a headset, Gary?
Do you have a headset?
I'll just go and look for one.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay.
We're just going to say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Uncle Barry, Grandpa Brian, Michelle Canna Free, David Castle. Hi, Kelly. Let's see who else. Truth Seeker.
You know that meme that Lori just read in the beginning of the opening?
Yes, I love that.
Michelle Cannon Free shared that out, and I swiped it from Michelle. She said I could
thank you, Michelle. Beautiful. I love it. I love that. That was just like, boom, all of that. Yes. We also have M. Dunbar. Oh, hi. Good to see you here. I don't see Audrey yet. She's probably running a little late, but, you know, Lucky Stone is in the house. Hi, you guys. Oh, my gosh. Look at all you bright and shiny faces. Yeah. And Barbara D. Hi, Barbara D. It's good to see you. I haven't seen Barbara yet. Let's see. Make sure we got everybody. I think we have. Yes. Yes, we do. Okay, great. All right, you guys. So we're going to talk about herbs, shamanism, and healing. And I think you guys are going to really benefit from this. So I'm really excited to get going. First, I would like to read a little opening that Teresa would like for me to read. And then we'll have Brenda read her poem.
Awesome.
All right. So throughout human history, and perhaps even before Homo Sapiens evolved, there has been an innate desire to experience a direct connection with God or gods, ancestors, and our inhabitants of the spirit world. When examining some of the most ancient cultures across Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, and the Americas, and up through time to the pre-industrial age, we observe many clans, sects, and tribes partaking of psychoactive and other plants for spiritual or medicinal uses. The uses and curative effect of these plants were strongly interconnected with ritual. For many tribal cultures, the plants in and of themselves were sacred. Supernatural powers resided in their tissues as a divine gift to humans on Earth. And this is a quote from the U.S. Forrest Service. Like, cool. How cool is that?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting that they were willing to even say the word psychoactive.
Yeah.
All right, but we do have to acknowledge that part of our experience as humanity. You know, it's in there. You know. All right, Mama. Do you have a poem for us, sweetie?
Well, I don't have a poem, but I do have an Irish blessing.
Oh,
ooh, interesting.
So, I'm kind of Irish Scottish. That's what we are. So I thought this would be nice.
My Joey's Irish Scottish.
Yay!
Awesome.
Okay. May you live a long life full of gladness and health, with a pocket full of gold at the least of your wealth. May the dreams you hold dearest be those which come true. The kindness you spread keeps returning to you. And that's your blessing.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much, Brenda. That was so sweet. And you look so good tonight. You're healing really nicely.
Thank you.
I love her hair.
Yeah, you look so cute. You're just adorable.
I appreciate you, sweet. You all are beautiful too. Everybody.
Oh, inside
and handsome. You guys are
And
handsome.
Yes.
Well, I just want to thank everybody on the panel for sending in whatever videos you could of your gardens and your herbs. And so we have a nice presentation for everybody to see. And Lori took every single one of your video clips and melded them together in her artistic, creative way.
Thanks, Lori.
I've been a busy little bee.
By the way,
Yeah.
I like the new touches to the show, opening with the new graphics program you're working with. That's pretty creative.
I
Yeah,
love it.
it's allowing me to be more creative and do a lot more. So yeah, it's exciting.
I love it.
And thank you, Lori, for what you did with the
That was incredible.
Oh, sure.
the shaman slides. I appreciate that.
Oh, you bet. You came up with everything. I
That
just
was
put
beautiful.
it all together.
That was just
added the
beautiful.
emotion to it.
Yeah. Well, the reason is, and I told Crystal this beforehand, I'm just going to say this one thing. And
Yes.
I have some friends. I've had 2 or 3 friends, in fact, over the years that have had great difficulty getting their families to accept that they're working with a shaman. The local hospitals here in Maryland, until recently, in DC, didn't really recognize shamans. So people who were needing health and healing in hospice care centers, hospitals, nursing homes, could not get access to their shamans. And yet their roommates could have their rabbis and their pastors and their priests. And they were allowed to come into the hospital and administer to people. And I had one person who was he was a shaman himself from Africa. And he wanted his shaman to come in. And I tried everything I could. And the hospital just wouldn't allow it. And I come to find out a couple of years ago that Georgetown University Hospital is starting to allow it. They recognize the value of the shamanic healing practices and purposes in a person's life, because they say whatever a person needs spiritually, psychologically, physically, if that fills that need for that person, that's the best way for a person to recover. So absolutely. I would like just for people to keep in mind that when you have friends and family or doctors, practices, if it comes up in conversation, or just remind people how important it is. It's just doesn't matter what your ethnic background is or where you're from, but if you have a spiritual belief and you have someone that you need to make connection with that will help you through, we hope and pray that these facilities start recognizing it more and allowing it. So that brings me to leaving this to Crystal now to run the rest of this about herbs, because shamans do work with herbs. And I thought David I would like to get an idea from both Jules, working closely with the Aborigines the way she does, and David on what you think shamanism is. What is it traditionally? And there's a list of questions Crystal has here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, is the difference between shamans today? Would you say that they're like an herbalist in twine, or should we not get so hung up on the labels?
Or which one wants to, David?
Oh, yeah, whoever wants to take the question.
I would agree on that.
Okay.
I couldn't find
David
the button.
agrees. It's official.
And I'm sorry I'm lagging here on my end for some reason. So
it's all right.
Greetings and blessings to you all. And it's good to see you, Miss Brenda. I love you, darling. Keep up the good work. But as far as shamans go, the word shaman in North America means something different than a shaman in South America versus a shaman from China versus a shaman from the islands, but they all follow one particular thing, and that they are spiritualists. Well, actually 2 things, I guess. but they use nature and natural things for their healing. And some of them are concoctions, some of them are teas, some are roots that are ground up into a paste. It just depends. But here's the thing. There are so many people these days, and I always call myself a shaman in training because I'm nowhere near what I consider a shaman to be. And I've studied with a medicine man who stayed with me for like 10 months here at the house, and every day was a treat. You know, there was all the training that I've had. I never consider myself a shaman, a shaman. There's a lot more for me to learn. So there are people who have been trained in certain areas where I was not trained in specific healing, like with feathers and that kind of thing. The medicine that I was taught was more about ceremonies and drumming and using moon signs and just sort of an overall thing, I guess. But there are different types of shamans, much like there would be different kinds of doctors. You know, you got a foot doctor, you got an eye doctor. They're both doctors, but one's more qualified in one area than another. Such is the same. And I've seen, when I was trying to explain, people wanted to call me a guru, and I'm like, I didn't really like that term, so I had to come up with something myself. And I searched the universe, and they said, "You're a shaman, dummy." And I went, "But I'm still in training." And they said, "Okay, we'll agree with that." But the idea, though, that I have any special powers, I guess I do, in the sense that I have learned nature over the years. But is it special? No, because anybody can learn it. Okay. And the things that I know are like ancient common things, being attached to the universe. That's, a good shaman will be attached to the universe. He or she will understand what that means. And I've listened to some people call themselves shamans, and they had a crystal, and they've done water too, and they're convinced that they're a shaman. And I'm like, really? Okay. Some of these people give a true shaman a bad name. So we have to be careful when we say shaman. And also, of course, the word shaman has, if you go anywhere near a church or a rabbi or a priest or a pastor, and they're just, they're going to hold their cross up and, and ask Jesus to come and protect them,
Yeah.
So we have to be careful in how we use the word shaman. If I needed to get in some way, I would say that I'm someone's pastor.
Yeah.
If I
Trina
wanted to get into
comment.
a church, I'd lie a little bit.
But, George,
the lie wouldn't be necessarily a lie, because if you understand it, then I am a pastor of sorts, but I'm not related to any particular church. So, but anyway, if I needed to get into some place like that, I would cheat a little bit and say I'm their pastor.
I'm a non-denominational pastor.
But anyway, so from the,
a non-denominational pastor.
So, but anyway, with that, yep. Or you could always say the Church of God, or the Church of the Spirit, or the Church of the Holy Spirit. I mean, which is kind of sort of what we're after, right? We're spiritual people, and we want to learn how to become more spiritual. So in that, I consider that to be any true shaman is absolutely trying to find the spiritual side of things. Yeah. Sometimes I think some of these folks convince themselves that they're special in some way because they have a crystal and they've, done mushrooms or something. And I'm sorry, to me, that's still in training at 68, in that I've learned a lot of stuff, but the more I learn, the more that there's so much more in the universe to understand, that, I would be so bold to say that, I've got my certificate and I'm a shaman. Okay, with that said, now most shamans depend, and it depends on where they're located. I mean, Eastern tribes and shamans and medicine men, where some of the tribes out west have been associated with, like the Lakota. I've known many people plantation. and South. Yeah. But the idea that someone who knows about herbs is not a shaman. I've known many herbalists and root doctors in my life, and although they have a spiritual side to them, they don't consider themselves shamans. They are root doctors. They're herbalists, okay? And they are healers. So in my humble opinion, these two gentlemen that I have known for many years, I don't know if they're still alive at my age, and I'm like, well, but anyway, but the idea though, that the things that they taught and how they showed people to use natural things around them, I would say in a way they were shamans because of how they related to plants and how they related to being able to take those plants and turn them into something that heals people. Okay. So, but they were like, no, I'm an herbalist. No, I'm a root doctor. I'm not a shaman. So, but a shaman at the same point, though, knows about herbs, may not know about every herb, but does know about spiritualism and the signs and nature. So, any questions on that?
So Jules, what is your angle on herbalism and shamanism? What is your perspective?
Well, I'm glad you said angle because it depends on everybody's point of view, right?
Yes.
We just had David's point of view.
Yeah.
And my point of view is actually, I call myself Jules the Alchemist, but, I do a lot of baking. Lizzie's just made me some lemon curd, everybody.
I love Lizzie.
Right?
Yummy.
Just from the garden. And it's bloody
Nice.
beautiful. She plonks this food in front of me. I can't eat while I'm doing the show.
Torture.
Sure you can.
Anyway.
Put
the
yourself
word
on mute.
Take the camera off. One of the words they use is Wirinun, W-I-R-I-N-U-N, which shaman, medicine man, wise man, magician. Okay? That's one of the Aboriginal terms, that name, in one of the little books that I found that resonated with me about 12 years ago. I don't class myself as a healer either. I am a conduit. Nobody's an actual healer because the person you're working on has to choose whether they want to be healed or not.
So true. That is the best. That's the best healer is someone that's helping you learn how to tap into your own inner wisdom.
And that's what I've been doing. And the last 2 days I've been doing that in our local community.
We all have superpowers. I mean, our capacity to love, our capacity for kindness, empathy, compassion, and love is like that. Those are our greatest superpowers. People think it's, lifting, levitating things and, it's so much more subtle than that,
It's simple and easy.
Yeah.
It starts in a garden. Awareness
Absolutely.
is the seed. What else will bloom from this? It's all your intention, nature's intentions. That's there's nothing more to say, is what you think. And in this little book too, the word called Kungalan, which means thoughts, the most powerful of all forces to influence your lives. So it's what you think, guys. You can think whatever you like, and what I think is totally different. But if you think you're going to do it, well, you will. And if you think you're not, well, you're right again.
Especially if you're feeling like your feeling and your thinking are in alignment, for sure, for sure. So, Gazakav, what is your perspective on herbalism and shamanism? What does it mean to you?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So to me, it's a healer, a medicine person, the way that I see it. I'm definitely not a shaman in training, but I'm starting to think about shaman and what they do. So I've done a little bit of research on it, and what I do at home is the beginnings, I guess, planting everything in there. And I agree with that it's always the intention behind it, and the person heals themselves. And if they're ready, they will heal themselves. I truly do believe that. I've had examples in my life when I'm ready to heal, I heal. And if I'm not ready to heal, which I have a couple of parts of my body which is not healed yet, but I will get there. Yeah. That's the way I see it, and every country is different. The way they look at it, in every culture, definitely 100% that.
Well, I just think somebody made a comment here a little while ago, Crystal, about an herbalist. I think it was William Swan. I knew a phony who put on airs by calling herself a shaman. Another one of those calling themselves Zen. Usually it's a person who used psychedelic drugs and went no further.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't take psychedelics and then you're automatically, woo, ready for business. You know, there's a misconception about that. You know, anybody can sit around a campfire and ingest a psychoactive substance. Does not make you, you know, you shouldn't be going around saying, hey, I can help you do da 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 da. No, calm down. Calm down. It's a process. It's a process. It goes much further than just ingesting a substance and then all of a sudden you wake up and you're king of the universe. You know, it goes so much more deeper than that. It's actually about your experiences and what you've learned outside of just that one moment in time of that experience personally. Well, at least that's how I feel about that. All right,
Sister,
Trina.
Hey, Sister Crystal, hang on a second. We have a new guest.
Oh,
Air Dragon, AIRE.
Oh, hi, Air Dragon.
Loves herbs. Welcome.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
It's so good to meet you. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you caught it. I'm trying to keep up with everyone.
Trina, I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. All right, Trina. Let's hear your perspective.
You know, I got the privilege to spend some time with the medicine man in Durango, Colorado, and his wife, whose name is actually Hummingbird. And we were talking a lot about the medicine man and the shamanism. And they were explaining it to me that it was different, but yet connected. It was so intricately connected. But they said that the true shaman was the one that could walk with you in the in-between worlds. So the shaman can tap into the energy systems. They can see the aura. Like if you're having a vision or taking a journey in your mind, sometimes they get to see it with you. And I think that's to me the defining part of the shaman, is that they can walk between the worlds with you. And that's what I think is magical and mystical about that, because I've seen it and experienced it. And I think that's the magical part of it, is the being able to walk between the worlds. But that's not needed with psychedelics. That's just all natural.
That's actually a gift.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. That's a very good point, guys. You do not need psychedelic substances to be in that. You just don't need them. They can be teachers, they can be assistants, they can be a lot of fun, but you know, we've got to keep them in their perspective as far as healing and being a shaman or being a leader, because you know, cult leaders are going to be drinking the Kool-Aid. They're a leader, you know.
And like David was saying too, one of the most important parts of any kind of medicine man healing, shamanic healing, the most important part is that you're holding space for the person that's coming to you for help. And the shaman does know how to anchor into the earth. They know how to set their fulcrums and ground into the earth and be an antenna for those frequencies to come through in a cooperative, balancing, magical agreement between the two people and the earth and the elements and the herbs. And I think the shaman too, the biggest part of that is that they're very intuitive. And like 5 different people could have said, oh, you need this herb. But the shaman can hear from your spirit what you really need or what would work for you. So they'll say, oh, have you tried this? And you're like, I haven't tried that, but that's the one that works for you, because they can hear the frequency of that plant in your body, and they can literally talk to the subtle energies of you and help you navigate through that with being able to share vision. That's to me what a shaman is, the ability to share vision. with your
that
client.
connection to the unseen, huh? The inner work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just mention something?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we're talking about the herbs and stuff, but you got to look at your vegetables as well. Your vegetables.
I was just going there.
Yeah, it's like the herbs. You know, it's what you eat is very, very important for your body to be running properly, like your engine in your car. And so not everyone has herbs, but you need to look at your vegetables as well, and what goes into your vegetables for fertilizer and what gets transferred into your body, and to keep it nice and clean and running properly.
You know, I was just going to say, Brenda, I know you might not think of yourself as an herbalist or a shaman or anything, but just simply working in the garden, with vegetables for your body, for sustenance, and sharing with your community. That's it.
That's it.
It's so simple. It's so, I think we really overthink things and overcomplicate the labels and just strip all that away. It's just so simple. Nature is so simple.
Yeah, if people had more gardens, and then you could go to your neighbor and go, "Oh, I need some zucchini," or "Here, I'm going to give you some strawberries. Can we do the switcheroo?" But I mean, wouldn't that just limit how many trips you go to the store and your fruit is readily available for you and you're enjoying it?
Raise your hand if you vote for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got pumpkins, blackberries, tomatoes.
Hey, Brenda, you come from a church background like I did, a Christian church background, where they're so hung up on these things. How did you make that breakaway? I mean, I made it on early when I realized that spirituality didn't have anything to do with religion.
Well, actually, I just recently did, just within the last year. And the more I listen to Brian and with you guys, I just love being with you all and learning everything I'm learning. But I still go to church. But I love to socialize. I love being with the people.
Yeah,
that's absolutely. Absolutely good.
I know the programming part of it, So.
Right. Yeah. You're aware. You're aware.
You're a conscious participant. You're a conscious participant. And you know what? Just you showing up and sharing your energy, your friendship, and your love with others. Keep doing that. Yes. That's a big 2 thumbs up for that one. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. There's a reason why Brian is so special, and she's sitting right there. So she's the influence.
Yes, absolutely.
Moms are everything.
And he would agree with that totally.
Yes.
Because she let him be who he was to be.
Yeah, she let him be who he was.
A lot of parents don't do that.
That's true.
So
it's true. So
we are at 9:34. I just wanted to remind the team we're at 9:34 already.
Yay.
And folks on the team have sent in videos of their gardens and their herbs. And maybe we can take a look at what everybody's got going on and then come back around and talk about some of the most, we're not going to be able to cover them all, but every area, every region has its own local plants and herbs, and we might want to highlight a couple today and talk about a couple of them.
The guy down the street's trying to grow, what's he trying to grow? He's trying to grow some tropical fruit down the street. I'm like, that ain't going to grow in here.
You never know.
Wrong zone. Oh, it's a banana tree. Banana.
Oh, banana.
Okay.
That's
hard. That needs tropical.
Yeah.
Brazil, Hawaii.
Guys, we've got bananas growing in Arizona.
You do?
Wow.
We've got blue bananas growing in Arizona, and they taste like vanilla ice cream. I can't wait to try them.
Don't tell Audrey. Wow. Don't tell Audrey.
I will pack my bags and go there.
No doubt. Blue. That's
apparently
amazing.
They're growing blue bananas in Arizona. I was like, wow.
They're for the blue aliens.
You know who told me about that was Mr. MBB333. He was the one who did the whole thing on the blue bananas in Arizona, and I was like, wow.
Yeah,
apparently
I didn't see that.
Apparently, though, they're very hard to get because they sell out like right now. Can't even barely get it.
Oh, yeah, they're a delicacy for sure. All right, well, let's get rolling on all of the beautiful things that we're doing.
So before I play the video, Brenda, you sent in a picture, and I'm going to put it up here. And could you just tell us what this is here that you've got going on?
Yes, that's a row of Park's Whopper tomatoes, and then the others is cherry tomatoes. And then on the row next to the fence, I have squash, zucchini, and cucumbers. And I just put them out about 2 weeks ago, so they're just starting to grow.
Okay. Wow. That's
They're
a
gonna
Now,
be gorgeous.
considerable garden.
how many people does that feed, Brenda? You and your husband, or?
Well, yes, but I have neighbors around that live there that I give out to them, and then I bring it home and give it to people here at where I live. So it feeds all 10, 12.
Do you give any to the church?
Well, you know, so I've never given any to the church. I didn't think about that.
Well, if you have an abundance, give some to the church.
I will.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. We'll get started with this. Here we go.
This is my little small herb garden. It's not much, but it serves its purpose. Have the rosemary bush. Have some onions that I had some left over from where I put at Big Ridge where Brian lived. Here are the crows.
Yeah.
Oregano.
Squawking.
Chives. And of course, this is my lettuce. I've got it under a cage so the deer won't eat it. But that will go good with those onions. Another rosemary. Then on the other side of the rosemary is the thyme. And I have some black-eyed Susans under my maple tree.
Ooh,
So,
nice.
And here is a caladium that I took down this past winter to the basement and put it out, and it's sprouting out. See the little leaves? It's going to be pretty. All kinds of them coming out. So I have a sage out front of the house that I've had about 5 or 6 years. It's still putting out real good too. So that's my small herb garden that I wanted to share with you. Thank you. You all have a great day.
Howdy. I'm just going to show you this is Crystal. I'm going to show you what I got growing. This is some fragrant lemon balm. Lemon balm. Lemon balm, lemon balm, lemon balm. Got a lot of lemon balm. And we've got some dill and parsley. And we'll just keep walking. Hi, sweetie. How are you today? Okay. Hear the air conditioner because it's hot and it's been raining. There's the chickens. Here we go. Let's go this way. We're going on a little trip. Going on a trip. You don't have to pack your bags. It's a free little trip. Okay, the top tier, we did have some sunflowers, but I don't know. I had to restart them. We'll see how they go. I gotta get down the hills. This is very hilly, so. Alright, so not all of my pumpkin seeds went, but half of them did. So this bottom tier here is pumpkin, and these are potatoes. I've got to clip these because, yeah, but these are a couple of tiers of potatoes. Alright, and then here's our tomatoes.
Just to let you know, our sweet potatoes are popping now.
Tomatoes!
Oh, good.
Got some tomatoes. Ooh, tomatoes. I need to have you guys tell me what I need to feed them. I definitely need to feed them something. Alright.
Sounds like a job for
See,
Gary.
I see a lot of flowers, but no fruit yet. Only a couple of fruits. Alright. See how muddy it is and clay? Alright. More potatoes. More potato. Oh. Hi. Tomatoes. Cucumbers. Cucumbers. And then we got.
Great idea with the tires.
They attract bees.
I think these are. I forget. I think these
I don't like
are
to
some
label
kind of
anything, so I
pepper or
forget what I
spearmint or
plant.
something. Then I've got my sunflowers in here. I wish I would have put
Getting into
them
trouble
in
that
the
way,
brown
Crystal.
plantables. I've got parsley. I've got some shards, which the turtle loves. We've got sage and rosemary.
Wow.
Parsley. This is supposed to be lavender. I've got squash starting, tomatoes, and peppers. All right, that's what I got going. Peace.
Cool.
I forgot to show you guys the strawberries we have are popping. Oh,
Blackberries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yum.
What?
Okay, here's an example of hemlock, which is extremely poisonous and you do not want. But it's growing right next to Queen's Anne's lace with the little fuchsia dot in the center. That's how you know it's Queen's Anne's lace. And this is an excellent medicinal medicine.
Which is pretty damn cool. Yeah, when I come up, I'll show one day. They swim up to the corner when I pop up over there, but they're all down here hanging out for a feed, so I'll give them a feed.
Cool.
My passion fruit, a bit yellow, it suffered a little bit. I forgot to water it. I stressed it out, but the amount that came off this year was beautiful. Passion fruit was just amazing, and I think I've only got one more year left, and then I'll have to cut it and grow a new one. Yeah, so I've grown it along here. Keeps it all shade because the sun comes over this side in summer. So I've got my ferns, protecting my ferns under there. As you can see that if I'm not onto it, they will dry out because you have to water them on top. Yeah, so they'll go down. And you can, if I can show you, none in this one. And this one, no, there's none coming up. So when these pop up, you can actually eat them. We call them kurus, so they're just like round and round and round and round and round, and then they just open up. So before they open up, you chop them and you can cook them, and they're very, very nice to eat. So if you're ever lost in the bush, you know, you can actually eat those.
Cool.
These roses are getting no sun. The sun's locked down over the side, so the sun at the moment is coming here. So that's a fair way down. But these roses are so beautiful, and the smell,
I can
truly
smell
divine. This one that's fully opened up.
Beautiful.
And don't ask me the name because I don't know, but it's an old-fashioned one apparently. And we these ones we don't make tea out of, but we make the tea out the front. One at the front. These are dying back. This is my kiwi fruit. Growing along a vine, going over to the male. The male's over there. So I've got heaps of flowers on this year, and I was so excited. And I was thinking, man, I'm going to get lots of kiwi fruit. This is the first one. I've had it for a couple of years now. And then I waited for the male. Did you think the male could get it up? Nope. Nothing from the male. Yeah. Oh, I was so annoyed because I was thinking this was going to be such a good one, but nope. Female wanted it.
Need some lotus flower.
So maybe they need to be a little bit closer so they can feel more comfortable with each other. So come on, boys, girls. You're right, Libs. Come on, boys. Jules, I think we got the same plant. Bloody nice. In time. Yeah, typical. These ones, I don't know their names. My wife got them, she said plant them, and I planted them, and they grew.
Marigolds.
Turmeric, they're all dying off. I'm not even going to harvest these.
Aw.
This one I will, because I need the bottom, and I'm going to spread them up all along here and grow lots and lots and lots and lots. And the same with the ginger, I've got lots of ginger. These ones are just dying back, and all under here, which all the tops are gone now, but all along here is all ginger, all under the ground waiting. So when spring, well, more summer, they're quite late, comes along, this is all going to be ginger. Lemongrass at the back there, it's quite big, it's time to harvest it. The bulbs down the bottom are really quite big. I was quite impressed. I pulled some out the other day and I was like, whoa, yeah. And right at the back there, I think if you can see it, is rosemary. Now this one is the crawling one, which I believe, I think it's got a much more nice flavour. Yeah. So this is the rosemary that grows upwards. I mainly use this one because it's a lot closer, and the other one over there, I'm waiting for it to claw upwards and then it'll be fine. But see, not everything goes really well. So you can see it's green on this side and this side's died back recently. I'm not sure if it's because of the frost. I don't think so. But something must have gone wrong down the bottom, that I think, because I just don't understand why half the tree is dying and the other half isn't. So I just took this out of the freezer. This is what it looks like. We freeze it. I want to show my wife's oils. She's really into them. This is our medicine cabinet. Chinese medicine. Oh, here we go. The top there too.
Wow.
Chinese medicine. So it's all herbs. Yeah, and she boils them up, and yeah, then you want to throw up when you drink it.
You do, yep.
Yeah. It's dark now, so that's my Feijoa tree. That's my Feijoa tree, and I don't know if you can see, but no, you can't see. So over the other side is a lime tree, which had a passion fruit growing on it, just like Jules. Isn't that bizarre? And then I got on the other side, just over there, I've got 2 more Feijoa trees. Yeah, over there as well. And yeah, I got mandarin trees over there, and I just ran out of time. I'm so busy at work, sorry. And I got 2 massive big plum trees over there, and we got massive fruit off them this year. I was really happy with the amount of fruit that came off it, and the birds didn't eat. 2 days, and they've taken really well to the soil. As you can see, these ones are outside on the eaves, under the eaves. They look at the cobwebs, but there you go. Not doing so well because it's gone cold. They do not like the cold. So over here, seems to be doing quite fine. It's quite shaded by other plants. Maybe that's why it hasn't had any frost on it, where the other one was actually outside down the end, exposed to the elements. So that's why it's looking so shabby. As you can see, I'm growing this one for all its seeds, and I'll let it go dark. The plant will die, the seeds will go dry, and then I'll put them into a jar and keep them. But I'll keep them in their pods, so I won't actually take them out of their pods.
Smart.
So this is a herb called Tuna microcarpa var. So it's from Asian country. Vietnam. So, and yeah, so it tastes like garlic, but doesn't leave a garlic taste that you breathe on other people. So it's pretty good. You can't cook it because it loses its flavor. So what you do is you blend it with oil in a blender, make a paste out of it, and then when you cook with it, you add it at the end of your cooking period, whatever you're cooking, and then the oils and flavor will just go through your food and just give it that garlicky flavor, so which is pretty cool. Yeah. And over here is my kiwi fruit. I'm just letting this one grow wild to see what happens, and it seems to be extending out. There's a pop-up tomato. It's not doing so well. It looks like it's been burnt from the frost. And my blackberries are very confused. I've got blackberries, they're red at the moment, but they turn black, as you can see. And it's going dormant, and it's still growing. It's supposed to be that color, not this color, and not this. All right. Strange weather. This is my asparagus. I just want to show you this. So they're all dying off. The cores down the bottom there. But you can see over here, one is popping up out of the ground over here. So this is not meant to happen this time of year. We're in winter, but it doesn't know that, and it wants to have a go. So go for it. I'm gonna.
You don't have a
chop
garden,
it and
does you? You
eat
have a
you.
nursery.
Yummy. I'm gonna eat you. Oh, you watch it go back. The garlic chives that I planted.
Good grief.
Wow.
This one here is called Andromeda caufolia, I think. Yeah, Andromeda caufolia. It's a va. Those are the little flowers that are on it. And you eat the leaves. You can cook them, put them in stir fry. Also, I forgot to mention, you can make a tea out of this as well. It's quite nice. You don't need to add any sugar. It's quite nice. Those are my lovely ferns. Oh, look at this. So beautiful. Beautiful. My fairy garden's behind here. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. So the fish come. Where are they? There they are. They're hungry. They're like, hello, how are you? They normally, I put my fingers in, it's cold at the moment, but I put my fingers and they come up and they nibble your fingers, and yeah, I think they're looking for parasites or anything, something, yeah. Who knows what they're doing. They could just be saying hello. Yeah, some fairies.
Pedicure.
Yeah. Now the fish swim along here, and then I've got a glass that comes up here. As you see, the kumara is ready to go into the pots. I'm going to winter them over these ones. I'm going to take these ones out like here. So that should be more than enough roots.
Yeah,
this is
interesting.
3.5 weeks growth. So that's not too bad. Well, it's pretty bloody good. Oops, here we go. So it's not too bad. I grew lots because normally some of them die, but they haven't died. They're all of them have rooted, so...
Are they in water, Gary?
All rooted. Yeah, water.
Horny buggers.
Here we go. So they're going to spend probably a few days just out of the sun and in the soil. And the soil must stay damp all the time. If you don't, it'll die. So that's why I put it into the tray. So whatever leaks out here will stay in here. But I think I've watered it perfect. To see how many is going to survive though. Hopefully all of them, because I really want to just do this one. That should be more than enough for the family. So yeah.
Okay, look at the beautiful bougainvilleas. Anyway, this range that we're looking at here is a Muru Rere, and Muru in the Aboriginal culture is alive and living. And as you go up the valley, that's where the birthing pools are. So the Aboriginal birthing pools, which is of course all jasper, which is supreme nurturer. Now here is Mount Strategos. Now Strategos is Greek for strategy, which means ruler or leader, actually. Sorry, not ruler, but leader. Okay, so we're living in the valley of leaders. Okay, this land I walk upon is the Gubbi Gubbi tribe, and we've been here. Well, we bought the land in 1995. And in 1996 we built our house, but we didn't live here officially till 2001 after we sold our business. So these trees were put in then, this jacarandas, and the forest was put in a couple of years before our daughter got married. She said, I want to get married out here, Mum. So we created this forest. And virtually not as thick as it is now, but it was still pretty good in the 2 years. So here is the rose garden. Now we've lost a few, but we've put some new ones. We've just put 5 new ones in. We've got Mary's Gold and some more nasturtiums. And I was hoping that I would, the other day when we were cleaning this up, I was hoping that I would get a red one. And there she is
down here. Look at the beautiful red nasturtium. And they're really pricky little roses, those ones. Thorny devils everywhere. Anyway, this is our place. Thank you.
Wow.
This morning
Wow.
I'm outside having a herb pick. So these are nasturtiums here. And I'll have one of those. And the seeds you can use as pepper. So there's all the different colours I've got. I've got some passion fruit coming up there. They're my sister's seeds. And a little bit of my nursery here. Anyway, this is over in my citrus orchard. You can see mandarins, pawpaw, more mandarins, and this is a lime with passion fruit growing over it. We said the passion fruit could have a season over the lime and then she'll have to go. We've got my beautiful sunflowers, lettuce, and there's the rosemary there, custard apple up there. I've got chives, some more strawberries, and my spinach. Over there is the neighbour's rose that I take and put in my tea. Okay, so there's a few different things in there. And I'll do a quick stroll. We'll have a look at my view. The neighbour grows citrus on that hill. And quickly move along. There's my wormwood. Okay, and I've just got the rest of my little chrysanthemums are just finishing. My rose, Damiana, my pomegranate.
She's got a nursery too.
Yeah.
Flowers.
God.
We've got some more strawberries over here. That's lemon tea tree growing there. Anything lemon, of course, it's good. Whatever lemon does. Then over here, we've got the native mulberry going into my forest. So this is the native mulberry. You'll see the little tiny flowers on there, and they taste a bit like pear. There's doesn't look like there's any fruit quite set, but there's one. There's the little fruit under there. If you can see the little white gem. Tastes like pear. I have aniseed myrtle. That's good for the eyes. Here's my big lemon myrtle tree. Here we're going into the forest. So we've got in here, this is, you can see that's a lily pilly. They're beautiful little fruits. We've got the neem here, good for the liver. Indians use it. If you look at the word, I love it. It's N-E-E-M. N-E is born of mother. So a lot of natives in here of different things. And of course there's just jacarandas, of course, that aren't native to here. All my beautiful, I love
wow, Jules.
bromeliads.
Amazing.
Walk across my garden. Thank you very much. And you'll see the flowers that are growing here are a Mexican tree daisy, the little white flowers. This is nutmeg bush. It's not the nutmeg you use, but it's good for headaches. Lots of oil in that. And of course, my beautiful other garden that doesn't have too much for eating in it, but it has lots of things for the birds, as you can hear them. We've just, there's my little cauldron, and the birds just love in here.
It's got a cauldron, what does that tell you?
Gardenia flower in there, and these are our Banksias. They look like candles. Anyway, guys,
God, beautiful.
Thank you. And it starts in a garden. Look at it.
Yep.
It's just beautiful. Thank you. Okay, guys, this is my drawing room. It's also where I do my energy work. But today, for these purposes, I'll show you there's my rosella and rose petals. So there's the roses that are drying out to put with this mix with the rosella. I've got lemon myrtle there and bay. So there's Damiana, there's sage there and more bay drying, and up there's the Tulsi basil. And that Tulsi basil will go in this mix here, which has ginger, rosella and rose petals. And if you could smell the aroma, well, you can't, but you can imagine anyway. Put that imagination together. So anyway, guys, that's outside.
Wow.
Wow, you guys, there's some incredible places. I miss my bougainvilleas down in Florida. They were great.
Just about everything that you all were talking about beyond nutritional value, there's also a healing value to almost everything you all have planted. Was that on purpose, or is it just that's the way nature rolls?
Just the way nature rolls.
It's intended.
She leads the
nature
way.
Intenders.
That's like me knowing I've got plants and I don't even know what they're good for. And like those strawberries I found growing through the fence aren't really strawberries. And I looked it up and it's called snakeberry. They look like little tiny round strawberries that you'd put in your Captain Crunch cereal bowl,
Yeah, I know the ones.
And Ruby eats them, and I was worried, so I started killing them. Turns out, if you boil them with rock sugar, it creates an elixir that's good for inflammation, eczema. You can use it to treat snake bites, other bug bites, rashes.
Nature's
I had no idea it's growing wild.
Yeah, it's a gift.
Yeah, it is a gift.
Everywhere.
If you look at that word that Gary put up first, that was KURU. Well, what was that telling you? It cures you.
Yeah, it's really good for you.
Yeah, that's
because
awesome.
it's a fern and it's a spiral. At the start, the fern is totally like that spiral.
Now, David doesn't have the ability to film like we do, but he told us the other day about mullein that grows on his property as mushrooms. What else have you got, David? You've got other things that that are going to just grow wild, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't have any this year. I have it in the past. And I've used it for people with asthma. You dry the leaves and roll it up and take a couple of puffs. For as far as kidney disease, when I truly found out, and I bought mullein oil from a reputable company, and after spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars going to a pea doctor. I can't think of a urologist. Thank you very much.
Urologist, yes.
2.5, 3 weeks. 2.5 weeks of treatment with the mullein oil, and I haven't had any real kidney issues in 10 years, 20 years.
Wow.
So
that's great.
I have it growing this, but here's one of the things that a lot of these plants are wild in a lot of areas. I know that I've been in Tennessee times. I used to do powwows and stuff up there, and also traveling and going up to Oconee and being on the river and stuff. But anyway, different areas have different types of plants. So it might grow on the East Coast, but it might not grow south of the Mason-Dixon line. In other words, south of Macon, Georgia. Some of these things just don't grow down here. And there are some things that if you go north of Macon, it's not going to grow, So, but anyway, like citrus trees, for example, they're very susceptible to the cold. So there are some that will adapt themselves. Anyway, I want to go back to what we were talking about, shamanism and a shaman. And I want to say that 10 years ago, I would have never used that word on myself. So the shaman thing came after all of the knowledge and all of the things, and I've met elders and have been with. So the idea of I'm a shaman in training is not what I started out in life. I started out to try to medicinal things and be close to nature. Shaman thing came in within the last 10 years. So just saying. Right. We have to be careful if we say, well, that plant has medicinal properties. Yeah, but what are they? Do you know what a diuretic is? Well, it's going to make you pee. You know what something else is, you know, and you know, if it's going to make you sweat, why do you want somebody to sweat? So if you see an herb and it says, oh yeah, now I've got this book here, it's a paperback and it's called The Herb Book. And the pictures are lousy, but the information is great. I've also suggested on my channel and with other people over the years that this thing has been falling apart, but medicinal plants, Peterson's Field Guide, and they have all kinds of stuff. I consider these folks to be reputable. In got photos on the inside. You can tell this page come out. So, but you can say, "Whoa, that's a medicinal plant." Yeah, but what's it good for? And there are some things that it regards as poison, but some of my root doctor friends that go, "Yeah, but a little bit of that will go a long way, and it's good for this or that and the other thing." So, before you say, "Oh, I've got this and it's good for me," you should really check as to what it's going to do to you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was just saying
and more than one book. Yeah. I have several different books on medicinals and herbs and so forth. And let me tell you, they don't all say the same thing about the same. Okay. No. You have. Oh, I got this really great book, and buy.
Darn that, Bob.
Okay, but that's in my yard. I've got 18.5 acres down in here. I got about 3 acres up on the hill, and there are different weeds that come up. I've got mulberry and blackberry and blueberries. All these are wild, and so and I got grapes that are going to be coming in too, muscadine. So all of these have curative values. Even I was looking at today that the honeysuckle has a value. But if you don't know how to use it, well, I got honeysuckle, yeah, but do you know what it's good for? Do you know how to make an infusion? Do you know how to make it? And do you know how, if you did know how to do that, do you know what the dosage is and how you take it? Just because there is a medicinal herb or somebody says this is good for that. I was looking at dandelion in one of my books while glancing at it. I got a bad issue, but I can't see it right. But anyway, watching y'all's, and I was looking at dandelion to take half a teaspoon of this concoction if you want to feel better. And do you know how much a half a teaspoon of dandelion root is? Go out and collect some dandelion root, and then let me know how you fared. Okay, I'm just saying, not that you can't do it, but if you're going to do this, you better have a lot of dandelion. You better have, know what you're doing and know how to work. So simply because you know about a medicine or know about a plant does not make you a doctor.
No more so than the herbalist that I went to in my 30s, who seemed so steeped in knowledge about all the herbs, but she gave me combinations in doses that hurt me, not helped me. Yeah. Not blaming her totally, but I'm just saying that I think she was giving me.
That's why I don't go out and say I'm a practicing herbalist.
Right.
I only use things for myself.
Exactly.
So David, where do we start? We're regaining the knowledge, the desire, and the ability, and we really need to know these things. Moving forward as a community, we need to know. We can't all be expert at everything, I'm sure. But where do we start? How do we know when to start using
go to the library, take the time on your internet phone to, do some research, or, maybe even look for local people who do groups. There's people that do groups for wild edible foraging and things. There's nurseries that will, show you some things. And so there's ways to start that journey. And sometimes the journey picks you, especially when it comes to like people that are considered more of on the spiritual side of it, like shamans and
I got a neighbor who's got all these books and she's experimenting and she's trying different things and she's like heaving, throwing up. She's making herself like consult somebody of knowledge, for goodness sakes. I mean,
yes.
I consult some of you sometimes. Mm-hmm. I'll say, what is your experience with this? Or how do you use this? And I start slowly, but I'm not going to sit here and start planting herbs and pulling them out and trying to make my own. I'm not going to start experimenting until I feel I have more knowledge of what it is I'm doing.
Because start with the basics.
Because some of this stuff really affects your liver, right, Trina?
Yes.
If you don't use it the right way, doesn't it affect the liver?
Yes.
I would think so. Yes.
Like I said, you got to be careful. If you put the wrong things together, they can literally become like poison. So you got to be very, very careful. And we got to be really careful when you're mixing things, because I mean, a lot of really good herbalists don't understand complications with things mixing together sometimes. So,
but also you got to remember, everybody's body's different.
It's different.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's another thing.
So you go to a doctor and they'll say your heart's not beating. They've got a guideline, but your heart doesn't have to beat like my heart. But they'll tell you you've either got high or low blood pressure. They've changed the way the scale is, because doctors means to teach. They are just general practitioners. They are practicing on you.
Yes, they're practicing medicine.
Bye, Joey.
Experimenting.
See you, Joey. There's a lot of experimenting, no doubt, and there's material that you can read up on.
Well,
go ahead.
One of the things that I found out.
Ooh, bad lag.
It is a lag.
Go ahead, David.
Big time.
Remember this: always get more than one book. Get at least 3 books from 3 different sources, and study. Go walk yourself. Don't you can look at a video, but until you go walking around and picking those herbs and flowers and digging up roots and stuff yourself, you will appreciate what it means, to get 2 tablespoons of dandelion root. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I'm just picking on dandelion for the moment. But in treating something, there are a lot of times where people will give you different things in a combination to treat multiple ailments. And even doctors are really bad about that. I haven't been to a doctor now in about 4 years, although I probably should. The idea, though, that they give you all these different concoctions without nobody really understands what this concoction of different medicine. Well, here's your blood pressure, here's this one and that one and this one and that one. And they really don't know what effect it has on people. So all they can do is monitor and experiment.
One pill makes you small. Scallops when you're 10 feet.
Yeah.
No, seriously, guys.
And if you go chasing rabbits.
Yeah, that's right.
But here, let me finish the thought.
Okay.
Here's the thing: if you have kidney ailment, then treat the kidney ailment. If you have asthma, then treat it separately. Don't try to go the 2. Now, if you've got mullein, they're both can be used for similar things within the body. So your chances of an interaction issue are really slight. Things that you can get do multiple things and will be slight to give you any kind of drinking 2 or more items. Does that make sense?
Yes. Now, there are lots of herbs that treat inflammation, joint pain, and sugar flow. So somebody's going to go out. My concern is that somebody's going to go out and say, I want one of these, I want one of these, I want one of these, I want one of these. And then and it's like, you're going to overdose possibly on over medicating yourself with these remedies, right? That's a possibility.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because you're combining these things, you know. And
Right.
Broccoli helps your joints. So if you're eating plenty of broccoli when it's in season,
Broccoli's awesome.
It does help your joints.
Yeah, I love broccoli.
Yeah, me too.
I love broccoli.
I love all forms of broccoli
and cauliflower. Yep.
See, I'll take turmeric every day. I take turmeric every day in the form of a latte. With the pepper and turmeric and turmeric. Pepper. And I use the pepper with it because it's a carrier to help carry it in your system. What you got there, guys?
Turmeric.
Oh, that's turmeric.
Turmeric.
And I'll add a little ginger to it. And I'll take that every day. But I also take the baking soda and the water in the evening, or I'll take the apple cider vinegar and the water. You know, I spread it out throughout the day. I don't just sit there and.
Yeah,
that's the best. That's the best way to do it, Teresa. That's the best way. Give your body at least 30 minutes between any different combination of things you're doing, especially if you don't know if they potentially can mix badly and hurt you. That's kind of a buffer for safety. If you can give yourself at least 30 to 45 minutes between mixing things.
And what I wanted to ask Gary is, your wife is into the Chinese. That was her cupboard you showed us in the video. She's been studying this for years, though, right?
Yeah, she's got all the books. It's quite amazing the amount of reading she does on medicine. So anything, if your temperature is too high or you're sweating, she can bring the temperature down and everything. I have no idea. I just smell it before I. Some of it's really bad. Some of it's actually quite nice, but some of it's really bad. It's just
well, you're not going to know until you start. You got to get started somewhere, and you might as well get started. Be cautious. Ask people if you're not sure. Look it up, research it, and it's going to be trial and error and accumulative knowledge over time.
At certain times a year as well. Like you're not allowed to take certain things certain times a year during the year. Yeah, seasonal things. So she's really important. Like ginger, you know, you only can use it 6 months of the year. Quite interesting.
Yeah, we forget because we have the seasons all. Yeah, we can get everything, anything, all the time at stores. So we've gotten away from eating with the cycles and things like that. So yeah, I mean, because there's certain times where things are more punitive, or it's more important to use them at those certain times for certain reasons. For sure, we've kind of gotten away with that with the grocery
mulberry
store.
Tree sap. William wants to know if that's good for him. Mulberry tree sap. Does anybody know? On the panel? Mulberry tree.
It's good for iron. It's good for iron.
What's that, Jules?
I know. I mean, I don't know personally as
berries, but I'm not.
Because David's lag.
Yeah,
you'd have to look that one up, William. We're not sure about that one.
Research it.
Now, most tree sap is pretty good for you. Most tree sap is.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that.
We have jars of tree sap dried, and we put it in the water, rehydrate it, and we put it into our cooking as well. It's very good for you.
Well, guys, I'd like to go ahead and wrap it up tonight. But first, Jules, do you have any messages for us or final thoughts?
You're muted, Jules.
Oh, you're muted.
Everybody else mute. There we go.
Right. These are what I've written over the years, all my information, and I've done a lot of, lots of, that's poetry. And of course, this is one I've got, you are a budding writer. So I've got that. So, but actually what happened is I wrote the next page and nothing else went in the book. But there's 7 of these books from 2008, and a lot of them have got, I've gone through them and I went, oh my goodness, Julianne, the information that I was writing back then So this is the only information I really require as myself. So everybody start journaling because it's your journey. It's your journey.
That's very important. Yep.
And so I've got many pictures about gardens and about, I've got this is the tin turkeys, the nature spirits that are actually, see the picture of him here. There he is, upside down. So so they are the nature spirits that grant you your wish out in the garden. So that's an Aboriginal folklore, the tin turkeys and the tuntuppies. Now, as I was pulling my book apart this morning, this happened to fall out. See? Look at that.
Oh, cool.
That looks like one of my enchanted cards of the forest.
Right.
Yeah.
So So I'm going to read what was on the back of it because I don't remember writing it.
All right.
Okay.
So one out. Hello. Right. So it's got chemical elements, 92 letters. In the periodic system of the elements, higher elements add to electrons in the orbitals. This is such a way that the periodicities of these become clear. Because of the nature of these orbitals, the electrons that fill them, the different types of atoms, nitrogen, oxygen, and so on, have different properties, or what we could call a discrete personality. That then tends to repel other atoms with different personalities. Based on the combination of atoms with these personalities defined by different quantum numbers, molecules are formed. This gives rise to chemistry that forms matter, including in all the biological organisms, is finesse. Finesse, guys, which is fineness. And that is just being balanced.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Wow, that is so cool. I'm so perfect timing that you found that right now. That's awesome, Jules. Thank you so much.
And also,
so everything's got personality.
Yes.
When you're working with herbs, some personalities might not want to work with your personality.
Right.
Totally.
Now, David recommended Peterson's Field Guide, William. Check out Peterson's Field Guide. And also the Indian Herbology of North America is a good reference book because two of my friends recommended this book.
Oh, nice.
American Indian Herbology of North America. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have to check that out.
It's fairly comprehensive, and they said it has never led them astray. You got that one, David? You like it? Do you recommend it?
And go for the weeds that grow in your garden. The weeds. They are your self-sufficiency, are your weeds. So check out the weeds that actually grow in your area. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they are full of nutrients.
Like curly dogs, stinging nettle.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is a weed?
Yes.
It's a plant whose virtues have not been discovered.
Yeah.
The other book.
Nice.
Like I said, we are in that word.
Yeah, we.
This is Healing Secrets of the Native Americans.
Ooh.
This is another book that two of my cousins gave me down in Cherokee. They both use these. It has a lot of remedies and recommendations for combinations of different herbs and amounts that you can use. So you could check that out.
Is there any way we can drop the links to those books in the description for the video tomorrow?
The links, no. My friends told me about them, and I just looked them up and Googled them, but I don't know where to buy them yet. I haven't figured out who's selling them yet.
Okay.
As soon as I do, though, I'll put out an Andromeda 7 update.
Yeah, there you go. That'd
on
be good.
Facebook, and then we can. There you go. Hands-on healing remedies. That's another one.
Nice. Those are good. I love books.
Stephanie Tourles, Tourles. If everybody sends me a title to the book and the author, I can put it together and we can update it onto our web.
That would be awesome.
The Crystal website. Yeah.
It's inside of you guys. It's
Yep.
your intention.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, everything.
And your intuition, your own
Yep.
inner
It's
intuition.
everything. All right,
Do we
Crystal.
have any announcements, Teresa?
Not really. No,
Okay.
we do have. Well, we do have a special on Wednesday. We have the Voice of Egypt with Khadija.
Oh, yes.
She's bringing in a theoretical scientist who she knows quite well, who's been through the pyramids with her. She had some paranormal experiences that she sent us videos on. So we're going to actually be with her live on Wednesday night and this theoretical physicist to go over her experiences that she had while she was in the Great Pyramid. Something took over her equipment.
Amazing.
While she was filming. And we have captured it. Lori and I have examined the heck out of it.
Yep.
It mostly affects the voice component, and we've tried everything to debunk it. So he's probably going to be able to help explain some of the things. And we saw orbs, spirits. We have it all on film.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be on Wednesday. So it's going to be fascinating. So put the word
that
out
sounds
because
right up my alley.
yeah, I long suspected there was activity in that pyramid.
Oh yeah,
but she actually
absolutely.
went through it and was not. She was just trying to take us on a tour. You know, Khadija. She's taking us on a tour, and all this stuff happened to her video feed and her.
Insane. That's so
her sound.
crazy. I cannot wait to hear it.
Yeah. So.
Alrighty, guys. So I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We hope you guys learned a little something, and hopefully you have a pen and paper or write some of those books down and go do some research for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But always, kind of think for yourself and really, make sure that you're not, steering yourself, like over excessiveness in any.
And folks, check out Gary's channel, Gaz's Backyard.
Backyard, yeah.
Gaz's Backyard.
Yeah,
Gaz's Backyard.
Awesome. Yeah.
Oh,
so cool.
I have to totally go subscribe.
Yeah.
You've got to, Crystal, because he's got like 10, 20-minute videos, and they're all helpful tips, like
really
sweet
great.
potatoes. I share them out as
Mushrooms.
much as I can, but look at the
I'm
mushrooms.
These are the mushrooms. They're really successful. The mycelium is now going through. They're popping out, and
wow.
you can't see it.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So I'm really happy with the result that I did.
Awesome.
These are oyster mushrooms. Yeah. I've got lots of projects that I do.
I'm very honored to be affiliated with people like you and Jules, Brenda, anybody who's understands and recognizes that there's a lot of folks out there that don't know how to grow things yet, and you're helping. And number two, you're sharing the food supply to people, even the children who just want to pick strawberries. You've got a whole section just for the kids to pick strawberries. I mean, that is the heart. That is the heart of who we are.
On the 20th, guys, if you want to fly over, I've got a walk and talk in my garden on the 20th. So everyone that I'm invited everyone that I run into, come on out, and we might have a bit of dancing going on as well.
You guys have to go. We'll fly in my jet.
That's cool. You're inviting people.
We want
into
to come.
So what you do is wonderful, and we really, on behalf of the Soul Tribe and everybody, we really appreciate each and every one of you for sharing that kind of love and support to your communities, to the world. You're putting that out there, and that's just what we need. That's what we should be doing. Everybody.
That's all fast.
Yep. Agreed.
So you're leading the way.
Yeah,
Thank you.
just
Thank all of you.
just little guidance, like that, guys, like that.
Yes.
All right, you guys, have a wonderful evening. Have a great weekend.
Peace.
Peace.